Mr. Keating, and a member opposed. Each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Massachusetts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I yield myself such time as I may consume. The Defense Department's National Defense Strategy has consistently included climate change as one of the most critical, enduring threats. The 2022 National Defense Strategy is no exception. In fact, Secretary Austin just 8 months ago called climate change an existential threat and has said, quote, "No nation can find lasting security without addressing the climate crisis," unquote. Intelligence officials have repeatedly warned that climate change leads to food and water shortages, ecological degradation, and extreme weather patterns, conditions that reduce our military readiness, enable mass population displacement, terrorist activity, and other forms of violence and conflicts between nations. In fact, the U.S. national security experts have dubbed climate change disaster response the military's new forever war. And the 2021 Pentagon report detailed how recent extreme weather has already cost billions of dollars in damages to U.S. military institutions like Florida's Tyndall Air Force Base or Nebraska's Offutt Air Force Base, other military installations as well, and it interrupts our training and our other operations. It's also projected to undermine bases vulnerable to rising seas, such as Guam and the Marshall Islands. And this legislation does not necessitate any additional funds, despite the billions of dollars it takes and it costs to our military. It simply requires the Department of State to establish climate change officer positions at major U.S. embassy hubs across the world. The U.S. State Department already hosts energy and science offices, but these climate change offices would have environmental issues front of mind and be responsible for supporting U.S. global efforts to combat climate change and advance climate solutions. Currently, there's no individual at these embassies who focus on climate change priorities, and I believe that the training provided to energy or science technology attachés really don't equip them with the tools they need to prioritize and tackle environmental issues. The imminent, complex, and destructive threat posed by climate change demands our primary attention. This bill would ensure that our diplomatic delegations designate personnel whose sole focus is to work with international partners to combat this common challenge to our global security. This is one of DoD's highest priorities, and it's a challenge that our country can't face alone. Using our existing embassies with its existing global footprint is an efficient way to plus up our ability to tackle this challenge with our international partners. This amendment is a vital, long overdue step towards advancing global geopolitical stability, human and environmental health, and U.S. national security. I urge my colleagues to support the measure, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves